All right. Hey, everybody. It's Alisha Rayne, and I am hosting tonight's workshop. Normally, I'm the Saturday host, but I'm taking over for Thursday this week. Tonight, we have a really great set of comedians doing some great material. Some of you probably know this, but our first round is going to be a subject that we were given ahead of time. And we're going to do about up to 5 minutes worth of material. And then we're going to give feedback on that material. And then we're going to do a second round. And that's going to be our own material that we bring to the, that we brought with us. And then we're going to give feedback on that. So we're going to let in Chip. All right, here we are.
Hey, everybody.
Queen.
I'm in the car. So I'm leaving like 2 open mics in Cincinnati, and I'm in the car. So, hey, everybody. Thanks for having me. I'm going to go on mute because I'm in the car again. Oh my God, truck, get the fuck over. Yeah. Okay. So yeah, I'm gonna.
Okay, Chip, you're gonna go last. So that'll give you some opportunity.
The bar and sit the fuck still. Okay, cool. All right, back.
All right, sounds good.
I love that.
All right. All right, very cool. All right, so we're gonna do first round. We're gonna do our own subject, and we're gonna give some feedback on that. So James from the Vancouver area, let us hear some material from you. Get you going here.
I'll take it away. Did we each get our own one, or do we all do a different
It's
topic?
your own.
Yeah, we each get our own prompt.
Okay, I thought we were gonna have to try and one up each other on different
That would have been
topics.
awesome.
That would have been good. Yeah. So I got kind of not a shit one, but I got one that was difficult. I got workers' compensation, and so I got a couple decent jokes about it. But I've never really had a job, so I didn't really know how to write about it. But so yeah, I didn't know how to write jokes about it, so I started researching it in different languages just to procrastinate. In Spanish, it's indemnización. In German, it's Unfallversicherung. And in Russian, it's pronounced Kompensatsiya Raboshim. And fun fact, they have an amazing program in Russia where if you get hurt at work and make a workers' compensation claim, the government arranges for a trip for you and your entire family to visit the gulags. So yeah. I think that workers' compensation should cover sex work. Not because I care about sex workers. I just really enjoy being the government adjuster who determines how much money to pay out someone who accidentally swallows a butt plug. And I had to explain to my girlfriend what workers' comp is. It's a bit more complicated because she's South American, right? So first I had to explain to her what work was. And then I had to explain to her what compensation was. So yeah, she's Colombian and on a study visa, so she can work 20 hours a week. And she just got a job. So I gave her the nickname Mi Lavadora de Platos, which translates to dishwasher. Not because she got a job as a dishwasher, she's a hostess, but because she only works half the time and I put a load in her 4 days a week. And that's what I got for workers' comp.
All right. Very cool. Thank you so much, James. Thank you. All right. So the dishwasher one, that was really good. That was actually pretty funny. I like that. I think the where you go to the gulags, I think there's actually some material that you can expand on there with like Russia and the gulags and just them being Russian. Yeah, Tim, do you have any feedback?
I mean, yeah, I really like the gulag joke. The dishwasher, I like the punchline. I feel like it made me laugh, but I do feel like I've heard that punchline a fair amount in terms of the dishwasher, like putting the load in. I don't know it's just a punchline that everybody comes to, I guess. But
yeah, it's usually, I know there's different variants of the laundry load, but I thought I'd twist it because she actually is on a working visa and can only work 20 hours a week. So I was kind of trying to sauce in that she only works part-time, like my dishwasher, because it's shit. It got changed 2 days ago, so it's brand new now. but at the time of the joke being written, it was a relatively shit dishwasher.
Yeah, I feel like that's a good twist on it that like gave it a little more originality.
Yeah, because we're all poor, right? We're shit comics, and we don't know what
Yes.
we're doing, so we have shit dishwashers.
Yeah.
Think for yourself.
You got a good dishwasher? What do you got? You got one of them Samsung? Fuck, you can do that on your phone?
Not on my phone, but I do have a Samsung dishwasher.
Do you? Oh, I fucking knew it. Oh, shit.
It's that queen energy.
Yeah. Full queen.
So I feel like you could also do some sort of under the table kind of joke, because a lot of times there's under the table work there. Also, I think the sex worker joke had some legs to it too, especially because there is kind of like a movement of like, positive sex work, sex worker kind of thing. So, I think actually with some work, you have like a pretty solid overall set. So about like at least 3 to 4 minutes. So good job. All right. Anybody else for James?
Oh yeah.
Yes.
So workers' comp. You said you never worked. Is that real?
No, I worked in the gray market with weed for like most of my life, but I've had two quote unquote like real jobs in my 20s, but for like 12 years I was just growing dope under the table.
That's excellent. Like I would totally use that for workers' comp. How do you get workers' comp on weed? Like what has to
like
happen
how would
to
a
a
drug
weed
dealer
head
get workers' comp
for you to get workers' comp? Like
I had a bit about that too, because when I worked there, the guy who owned it tried to be all like scary, and he would always say workers' comp is a ball peen hammer to the knee, but like I didn't know where to go with it because he's kind of a bitch, so it was never really scared anyone. But that was what I like thought about, and I was like, does it have legs? And I looked at it a few different ways, and I was like, I'd rather, like I talked to Alisha earlier, and I just didn't have enough of it to make it funny in my mind.
Can you get workers' comp for weed memory loss?
Possibly.
Like that is a hazardous thing that happens on the job. Secondhand blow. Like, yes. Like I'm always high at work. Like so things happen to me. That's why I need workers' comp. Like I run into walls all the time that I know are there.
I thought I went deaf once when we were working. We smoked hash, and my buddy was talking to me, and I couldn't hear what he was saying, and I was like, oh my god, I smoked myself deaf. This is fucking insane. And then I forgot we were on the trim machine, so I had my earplugs in. So I thought for like 45 seconds, the hash, I thought it fucked up my hearing, but I just had
earplugs. That's right there is like prime material. Like you have your punchline. But I just had my headphones in.
Yeah. Or
earplugs. So yeah. I think that's actually like some really good stuff to focus on because it is personal, and you do have like stories to go along with that. So I mean, just a couple of punches with some of those things for sure. I think you have a lot of good material actually to work with. So yeah, very cool. Very cool. Yeah.
Do we leave our mics on when other people do their sets? I never know what to do.
Well, I like to hear laughter, to kind of gauge how funny my jokes are.
Okay, yeah, we're not doing North Korean comedy. Okay.
No. All right, we're going to go ahead and move on to Tim. He's out of Missoula, Montana. He's got some fun stuff for us. Tim, what's your subject? And let's hear it.
I had bacon, which I guess is slightly easier to make jokes about than workers' compensation. So, although I feel like you should get workers' compensation if you work at a bacon factory and you eat a lot of bacon. I feel like you should get workers' comp if you end up with like heart disease because of that. But I don't know. I feel like bacon has like some of the best like merchandising or like the best PR people out of like any like major meat. Like Big Bacon just has like the best. I mean, they have like T-shirts, they have like candles, bacon lube, bacon condoms. Like you don't really see that with other meat. You don't have like turkey flavor or turkey scented candles or like chicken flavored condoms, or like beef brisket underwear. I don't know. Tell you the truth, that's all I really had on bacon. So
It's so much of bacon.
I know though. That's all I had. So
All right. Thanks so much, Tim.
Thank you, Tim.
Yeah. All right. Well, good stuff.
It's a start.
The stuff you had.
Short.
I like the bacon flavored candle. All of that stuff was good. Like when you said chicken flavored condom, it was like like laughter with a bit of a gag reflex there, which I don't think is a bad thing. So yeah, I think that was all right. I don't know. Anybody have any feedback, James?
No, I just said pulled pork panties because of the alliteration.
Yes.
But yeah, no, bacon's definitely another hard one because it's just like, I don't know, it's food, but you rolled with it and you made some giggles, which is good. Are we supposed to like just roll with it, or can we read? Because I just read my stuff off. Is that fine?
Yeah. Yep. However you want to do it. However you feel most comfortable. If you got like a rough set and just want to read it, that's fine. If you got maybe some stuff that's more prepared, bullet points, I'll do bullet points. That's kind of how I roll a little bit. So whatever your style is, just roll with that. So, all right, Visionary, you got anything else on bacon?
I do, Alicia, every time. So bacon, when I think of like these little prompts or whatever we get, because I got a pretty terrible one too, but it's how can I spin this? How can I make this interesting? Everybody knows bacon is, staple. But what about, like, you could think about what comes to mind when I think about bacon? How does bacon make me feel? Also think about if you want to get real gory, the process of bacon, and like you can just put yourself in the mind of the little baby calf, the little pig going to slaughter, and just think of it like that, and like, what was I thinking that day before I went into the building? I mean, it's real gory comedy, but it's pretty interesting if you think about the mind state of the calf or or why do I keep saying calf? God damn it, the piglet or whoever it is. And
you got steak on the mind.
Exactly. I'm just hungry.
Thinking of that filet mignon, yeah.
You brought it up. You brought up all this stuff, the beef brisket. Now I'm just Jesus. Okay. But just thinking about, I would love those. Thinking about just bacon. How does bacon make you feel? How does bacon ruin people's lives? You could talk about that. How many times did bacon ruin your life? And the lives of others. You could have started a whole petition against bacon, or you could have sued bacon for all the trouble that it's caused over the years. It's just thinking of it in a different way. It's not just food; it's how you think about that food. And and we can be more imaginative as comics, which is beautiful. Not everything has to be complete truth. You can tell stories, and they don't have to have the complete truth in them. You can fabricate them a little bit, and that makes them a little more interesting.
Plus, lying's fun.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, lying is great.
Mm-hmm. And it is creative writing. So go back to that like 8th grade comp class or whatever, and you have like little clouds. You circle a word and then an arrow and then another word off of that. Just those basic structure things. That kind of get your creative juices flowing. Just those basic exercises will really help get some material going. Pretty much exactly what Visionary was saying, except it's just written down. So
yeah,
very cool. All right. Anything else for Tim? Any of that helpful, Tim?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Very good. All right, Visionary, I'm going to go ahead and go to you next. What was your subject? You're out of Detroit. Yep. So what was your subject? And then I'd love to hear some material.
So, like all of you, I had a terrible subject. I don't know where they get them from, but I'll go make this shit work. So, my subject was craft dinner. So, while y'all sitting pretty with your bacon and your workers' comp, I got that. So, I will say that craft dinner is a liar, because no dinner can be made up of just dry ass macaroni and cheese. I mean, how does that work as a full dinner? That's not even a full. Now, let me think, because I'm an African American, as you can see, and we don't believe in macaroni and cheese that does not have to go in the refrigerator. So if it does not have eggs, honey, it don't have milk, it don't have real cheese that hasn't been squeezed through a pocket hole, I don't think that considers to be real mac and cheese. I don't know why they just came out like the best macaroni and cheese. And, I consider myself, semi-middle class, and I grew up in a semi-middle class environment. I didn't have to live like that. So I necessarily don't know what this Kraft macaroni and cheese bullshit is. I don't get the whole phenomenon about macaroni and cheese in a Kraft box. All of our ingredients came out of the grocery store in the actual refrigerated section. So, I just want to just blow the wind off of this shenanigan of actually being macaroni and cheese. Where do they get these noodles from? These noodles are the skinniest pieces of shit you've ever seen. The cheese is of no shade of macaroni and cheese that I know, because if there's no shade of white, and that's the first time that I say there needs to be a shade of white in some macaroni and cheese. First time I ever said there needs to be a shade of white in my life. But there needs to be that shade of white, because that's considered like the white cheddar, the Monterey Jack, baby. You need a little bit of that in there. If it's not a little bit of that, and plus a little milk in there. Why is the cheese all the same color? Because it's being squeezed out of a pussy hole of a pocket pouch. Okay? That's not real macaroni and cheese. That will not pass in my house. And I will not keep that type of energy around me. So I just want to rebuke the idea that this Kraft dinner is real. Okay? That's not what, if you are still out there in 2021 eating Kraft dinners, macaroni and cheese, please just walk outside without a mask on. Why are you here? Okay? You can do better in 2021. You just got your good stimmy. Okay? You can go on YouTube and learn a good macaroni and cheese recipe. You can go make a black friend. Okay? You don't have to live like this at all. So if you are still out there eating Kraft macaroni and cheese, assess your life today. Don't keep doing this to yourself and others. If your children are still eating Kraft macaroni and cheese, you need to get them taken away. Okay? They don't need to live there with you no more. And if you just so happen to have to eat that trash box of a macaroni and cheese, disenfranchised macaroni and cheese, I'll say, at least season it. I'm talking Lowry's here, people. I'm talking salt, pepper, and more, people. You might have to put some garlic powder in that thing, some paprika in that thing. The color should not be the same after you touched it, if you have to live like that. Okay, I understand. But in this day and age, you don't have to do that. We don't have to do that. I used to eat government cheese, and it was delicious. Okay? Get your lives together. Stop eating bullshit. Okay, just stop. Stop immediately. You can be fresh. You can go fresh. They have it online. Get you some. Okay? Kraft macaroni and cheese is trash, and that's all I'm going to say about that. Period. Point blank. Poo. Stop eating that shit.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
You're welcome.
What's government cheese? Is that an American thing?
Oh my God, let me tell you.
Is that brand, or like the government fucking gives you a loaf of
it's government cheese. It comes from like the government programs that give food. Like they have little programs, little food offerings. Anybody who has been in a situation like mine, government cheese is in a block. It is in a block.
Okay.
It like literally just says cheese.
It says cheese on it. It's pasteurized, I believe, but it is the best damn cheese. It has gotten worse over time. It was better back in the 90s, but Government cheese is the only cheese that you can put in a macaroni and cheese, and I'm sure Chip understands. She gets it. You can put that in a macaroni and cheese, baby, and it can be by itself. Everything else got to be loaded. Everything else got to have some white cheese in there, some cheddar cheese, some Monterey Jack. You need to put some Gouda and maybe even a little bit of. I'm not about to tell you how to do a macaroni and cheese.
Muster? Muster stuff?
She said it. She said it right there. It better be sharp cheddar in that bitch. You better put some pet milk in it. Separate it. Add the cheese. Do the milk. You should do it in a separate saucepan. I was just educating you, James. But it's delicious. You need to get you some government cheese. You can just get on Wick, honey, and you can get it today.
Don't worry, I'm moving to Texas soon, so I'll pick up some government cheese when I'm down there.
Yes, you can't buy it, but you should find it somewhere.
I'll find someone who gets it, and then I'll buy it off them.
There you go. You support the community right there.
Black market government cheese.
Yes.
All right. Well, I love all of that. I just want to add a couple of things here. You were like kind of like, I won't keep that energy around me.
So good.
Chip is making orders, honey.
She is. I'm wondering if I could just mute her real quick.
Get the Kung Pao chicken.
Chip, I'm gonna mute you real quick.
Oh, yeah, please, because
you're ordering.
But the lighting is great. The lighting is good.
Are you ordering crap?
I know the stimmies dropped, but I'm just saying, like, come on, bro. Like $24 for the wings. What do you mean? Like, what are we doing? We're not balling. Like, what's wrong with me? I'll eat 2.
They're trying
you
to
can
get
have
over.
4. Like,
How much for wings? $24?
For a 20-piece? I don't know. You know what I'm
They
saying?
trying to make you pay for that accent wall.
I'm from the land of rah-rah, where you get 5 wings and the fries for, $3.99. You know what I'm saying?
All right.
Go ahead. You can mute me. Oh, wait, is it my turn?
Okay.
Not yet.
Are you done ordering, Chip?
He'll be back.
Yeah, I'm done.
Okay. So I just wanted to say to Visionary, like, I like that part where you're like, I won't keep that energy around me. Like, I felt like you were like, that's evil, and I kind of wanted you to go just a little bit further, like casting the devil out
of the craft.
Yeah.
That's
like
genius.
a little bit like religious with it almost. And then my favorite line is make a black friend. Like, I don't know. That was so funny to me. Yeah. So Tim, you got any response on this macaroni and cheese?
Well, I don't know if you meant to do it, but I feel like you had a call back there. Like, you mentioned the pocket hole of the cheese coming out, and then you mentioned it later as like the pussy hole. I don't know. I feel I kind of connected those things. I don't know if you meant to or not, but I think that was a good.
Let's say I did.
Yeah.
Let's just say that.
Yeah.
All right. Anything else? Chip, you got any response?
There
There
you
we
go.
go.
There you
I
go.
was even talking. You ain't have to mute me. I'm just messing with you. I'm just pulling your leg. I'm just trying to get myself in the zone. However, I thought it was so funny, especially when you brought up the Kraft macaroni and cheese, and then you was like, you got to add white cheese. It just reminded me of this time of like when my friend was like, she had a family recipe, and I thought she was lying because we was passing out slices of cheese that night. So that's why I was like, yo, she's right. Like, this is hitting it. This is on key. Like, so I thought it was cool though. I thought it was cool. I thought you said it was pretty amazing. It was just so relatable.
All right. Very cool. James, you got anything else?
I was muted. That's why. No, I like that. I also like the get that energy out of here moment. And yeah, I like that you can just go at it and eat. It was very authentic. So it was a very authentic, get the fuck out of here, craft dinner. Sad. So.
Yeah.
Thank you, James.
All right. Very cool. Very cool. I'm going to go next and then we'll have Chip go. Is that cool? Sound good?
Mm-hmm.
All right. All right. Yep. The subjects are all kind of tough, but I got spirograph.
What?
Like those little, you know what I'm talking about? Those little things where you have a pen and then you would go around and it was like plastic and it would make like a little like, I don't even know. It would make a
Alisha,
little
what the
like
fuck are you talking about? What the fuck
it
is
would
the thing?
make
Are you sure they didn't make it up to fuck with you?
no, a spirograph was like a crappy thing
A
that you would
spider-graph?
A spiral.
spirograph.
That sounds like
Is
the
it where you
little
have a
ringlets
pencil in it
on
and
a
then you go
note,
around?
like you know, on a notepad, they got the little ringlets. That's what that sounds like.
Yeah,
Like-
it's not a spiral.
That's
A
what I thought when I heard you.
Spiral
It's
like the
a-
purple dragon.
It's like a little plastic, like almost like a
Look it up.
compass or whatever, and you would just move it around and it would make little weird circles.
I gotta fucking Google this.
Oh, she got the worst one by far.
Yeah.
People
I don't
don't
know how to
even know
spell
what
this.
it is.
We're all like, wait a minute.
It was a toy. Basically, it was like a
Is it Chinese? It looks a little Chinesey.
it was
Oh,
like
I
a
see it.
crappy art toy that you would get as a child.
Oh
Who
fuck yeah! My
remembers
sister
this?
used to have one of these.
Yeah.
Okay. We're in the mind state now. We got you.
All right, yeah, we got you.
Yeah. It
I know
was
what we're messing with.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so it was just like a crappy toy that you would get. And I feel like it was something that your aunt would get you at Christmas time, you know, because they didn't know what else to get you. Like they'd already gotten you the crappy Christmas sweater the year before. They got you, you know, just some random fruitcake they had lying around. And now this year they're like a spirograph. Like it's just this throwaway present that an aunt who doesn't care about you gives you for Christmas. Like that's how I feel about the spirograph. Like it's just like, what should I get this child that I'm sort of related to? A spirograph. Yeah, that was kind of that. For some reason, I kind of like got into psychics. Like, I was watching the second most recent episode of RuPaul's Drag Race, and they had a medium on there.
Yes.
And a medium is just somebody who like claims to talk to dead people. And, you know, the only medium I want to run into is a pizza. You know, like these mediums, you know, are so full of shit. It's like a child's diaper, honestly. Like you could tell they were like, oh, who's got a mom who's dead? From beyond the grave, they're telling you to tie your shoes, otherwise you're going to trip. Like it's so just like hot bullshit. It was, I mean, it was entertaining how they all like believed it, but it was just, they're just con artists. So that's kind of that. And then just a couple other things. You know, they have kids to do art therapy. Like if you're, you know, they'll have a child like draw a picture, and, you know, it's just like, what if it's of Satan, you know, or what if it's of like a creature that is unrecognizable? You know, they're supposed to like see the child trauma, and it's just like, on some of these drawings, I don't even think the adult wants to know what the child trauma is. So there's something there. I don't have it yet. So there are some kids whose first word is McDonald's. Like that's the first word that they say. And to me, it's like, you know, that because they like pass by it all the time, you know, they're like, oh, we're going to go to McDonald's, you know, and it's just like, well, what if they're from a not great neighborhood? So like, you know, just in case they are, like sometimes the child's first word might be cash for gold or Spearmint Rhino, which is a strip club in the state. Yeah, so I was thinking about like people who play paintball and like people who get super into it. Like I was wondering if somebody was so good at paintball that they'd be able to like paint the Starry Night onto somebody's back as they're shooting them with paintballs. I don't know. These are just, I'm just spitballing ideas here. So if you have a fish, like if you're a stressful person, one thing they suggest you do is to get a fish because it'll lower your heart rate. And what if you already have kind of a low heart rate? Would a fish like lower it to the point where you were like declared legally dead? You know, oh, what killed this guy? Actually, it was a fish. Like a piranha? No, Goldie the goldfish. So that's that. These are very rough, but that is all I have. So, yeah, yay. Thank you, Alisha, for sharing.
I like the medium pizza.
Oh, yeah, I like that bit. I feel like I relate to the shitty aunt presents. I feel like I've got presents from aunts that are just like, what the hell? What the hell would you get this to me?
Right.
That's definitely a CVS gift. I was on the way to your house. I stopped at CVS. I saw this thing. I thought of you.
Yeah.
You like art, right?
Yeah.
Yep. So, or like motor oil, they like stopped at a gas station. They got some motor oil.
She draws, doesn't she? She draws. I think she does.
She's 9 months. It'll be good in a year. Then they won't have to give him anything next year.
She'll grow into this gift, darling. She'll grow into the drawing. I thought it was pretty cool. I would like to dive deeper into the shitty gifts of the 90s. And just think about all the different gifts that now would be considered shitty. But kids don't play with things now. So I guess all of them will be considered shitty to these kids because it's not a controller. But I just thought about like, what is the commercial for this piece of shit? You know, what's the commercial for this little thing that you just draw it in a circle? It's literally for mental health. This is for, you know, psych patients. And I also thought I had hypnosis, which goes along with that. Be a good segue to your medium joke. And all the great psych mediums of the 90s, like Miss Cleo, you know, and all those people. So I thought that it could be a lot of things that you can transition to because one, it's an old 90s gift. Two, it looks like a little psychological thing with hypnosis. And three, it's terrible.
Yeah, it's like seriously the worst gift. It doesn't. You can do.
But
nothing
I saw
with
it everywhere. Like I remember these patterns, not necessarily what made them, but I remember those being on people's notebooks right next to Lisa Frank.
Yeah.
Another direction you could take it to is like these are for kids. I mean, they're going to, and because it looks kind of psychedelic, you could be like, they're going to the 7th grade. They're not going to a rave in Joshua Tree. Why the fuck are we giving them like mandala making devices?
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yep. If you could do it with like black light, like pens that only show up in black light, and so then it would show up and it'd be all like trippy. So maybe it's actually for like people who are going to Joshua Tree, going to Burning Man, like a good Burning Man present.
Is this the same time frame as Skip It's? Because I feel like this is like the same time frame as Skip It. I remember that fucking piece of shit.
Oh, I love Skip It. Skip It.
I didn't see it was my sister didn't have any friends, so it was good for her because she could skip alone. But me, I had friends. I skipped with the fucking rope with other people like a normal kid.
Exactly. They get to jump in on yours.
Yeah.
Was this the same time as Bop It? Remember that? Bop It?
Bop It. Yeah,
Bop
I thought
It.
about Bop It too.
Twisted.
Bullet.
Yeah. Yep, I liked all of
where
those
the fuck
things.
are you?
Chip is making me want to get a hookah right now. What is happening?
You're at a hookah bar, Chip?
Okay, I'm sorry.
You just show up at a hookah bar.
I be in denial. I be in denial about being a hipster, but it is really, that's my life. But no, I enjoyed the part about the fish because I have 2 fish, and I was like, damn, I'm an anxious ass motherfucker. And I be talking to
And
them,
they help,
they be
right?
like, my ex be only because you have to remember to feed them, so that means you need to eat too when you're depressed. So it's like,
That's
oh
good.
shit, I'm feeding the fish. I'm not even feeding myself, and fish are simple. Like they don't even talk back. Like so, I love the way you made that a joke, and I was like, damn, self-reflect.
Also, a little thing to take care of makes you remember to take care of yourself. So I feel like that old joke where I didn't save him, he saved me. About a fish. So
you could also take it in the direction to like now when I go out to party and do cocaine, I just bring a fish tank with me so that my heart rate doesn't get too fucking high, or MDMA or something like that.
I know y'all not making a plea for fish as emotional support animals.
I love my fish, Draco and Kelly. They named after my favorite two semi-auto. Never mind.
I would love somebody to bring a fish on the plane. Like, I need this fish. This is my fish. I can't get on this plane without him.
Get these motherfucking snakes.
Get these motherfucking fish off this motherfucking plane.
Or I'm gonna make a splash in this bitch. Okay,
I love a Sam Jack reference.
This motherfucker swimming.
That sounds like it'd be funny. An emotional support fish. I love it. I love it.
Yes, I love mine.
They got like little jackets on them that you can put like little emotional support jackets.
So you could put it in a bag, like how you take it home from the store, but on the bag itself is a tiny vest.
Yeah.
So that would be funny.
You could also make something about how it's the only like animal or pet you take home in a bag. Like, isn't that kind of fucking weird? Everything else gets like a crate. The only thing you take out are like fish and dead bodies. That's what bags are for.
Yeah. All right, guys.
Correlation between serial
killers.
You
could definitely tie that into the bag fish into like life and death. That's pretty dope because it's kind of like you have a good time and then you go home in the body bag.
Jesus, that
got fish for you.
I mean, at least you're not like a fish where you can just flush it down the toilet. You know, you have to take it to the body of water. I like how we got dark.
That's awesome.
Too dark. Sorry. I know my face was the dark one, but that was a little dark.
We all went in that direction. It's cool. All right. Anything else for my subject? All right. Shift 4, are you ready for your subject?
Yes.
All right. Coming to you straight from a hookah bar. It's Shift 4. What's your subject?
Abstract art.
Abstract art?
Okay. Yeah. All right.
Abstract art.
When I think of abstract art, so abstract art. I think of abstract art. I think about that thing I did when I decided that my nerves wanted to break down, and they put you in this program where like you basically become a child again. It's kind of like school all over. Like the walls are definitely like a grayish blue color. There's windows at the top of each classroom. And then there's like maybe 4 or 5 other students. I was describing a slow class. I'd never been in there before, but I assumed that's what it was. And I was just like, they had us doing art projects. And all I could think was like, hey, they was like, do something abstract. So the only thing I could think of abstractly was about, knocking up some people upside the head. And I was just like, well, I guess, let me just draw this picture. And so the picture was just a bunch of like scribble lines and stuff like that. And I was just like, yeah, abstract. Okay. Clearly I wasn't hitting, but isn't it funny how art can be abstract? And I'm talking like the way that people ask you to join in to do cocaine. Like, especially white people, like they always say things like, yeah, I smoke too much weed. I'm like, what the fuck you touch your nose for? Yeah, I do want to party in the bathroom. How abstract is that? Just like these jokes are abstract because I didn't prepare for this set. It was so hard thinking about. I was just like, yo, I'm Black and I like going to the museum and describing pictures that have, a bunch of space shit and, maybe there's a red dot and you could just think about, yeah, that's how I feel 2 weeks out the month when my period is coming. Abstract. Shit. Also, the way that my boyfriend made me feel about my body, I just lost over 130 pounds. And he was just like, yeah, it's like your body is art. It's abstract. I just don't know how to feel about it. Okay, I'm chill for it. That's all I have for you.
That's a good ending one. That's a good,
Wow.
good thing,
That's a great joke, actually. That's hilarious. Your body's like abstract art. I don't know how to feel about it. That's hilarious.
Thank you.
Keep that in your set. Yeah, I think there's some good stuff. Visionary, you got any response?
Yes. Good job.
Thank you.
She's like, I did not prepare for this, and let's go. But I think that is a good idea because you started to go down this path of like just thinking other things are abstract. And then that took me down a path of like, what other things that aren't abstract could you just make abstract? Because I just kept hearing you say abstract, so I made everything abstract. And you didn't know, looking at a treadmill, abstract. You know, walking down the street, you see a bus go by, abstract.
Abstract.
Exactly. Not whooping her ass, abstract. So many things that could be abstract that people could just tag on the bottom. So I thought of that, like, just anything could be abstract because that's what abstract is. I also thought that the body thing was funny. But yeah, you on the right path. Just keep going if you keep it or not. Just keep going.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
For the item that's abstract, like you can be like, what is that, a treadmill? No, that's actually an abstract clothes dryer.
What you think you're seeing is not what you see. You see a workout device, but really it's a part to my closet that I just keep there for shelter and storage.
Yeah.
Yep, abstract. Abstract.
Yeah.
You gotta throw that alliteration. Abstract.
Yep.
Am I living on the streets or am I freelancing on the corner? Abstract.
Mm-hmm.
Did my boyfriend just break up with me, or did I just want to be alone? Abstract.
Well, that's kind of the same as like when you put on a resume, oh, you're a janitor. No, I'm a custodial engineer.
Abstract.
Yeah.
Back when I actually was a dishwasher, when I was 12, we called ourselves underwater stainless steel technicians.
Oh.
That was the dishwasher title.
That's how you beef up a resume.
Yeah. Yep. Where did Chip go? There she is.
Chip, what city are you in?
Are you in Atlanta?
I'm in Cincinnati.
Oh.
No, I'm in Cincinnati right now.
Okay. Now that's just abstract. Atlanta.
Abstract. Is abstract, straight up.
All right, Tim, do you have any response?
I mean, I feel like, yeah, definitely repeating abstract kind of added to it, and just like after every line, you're like abstract, and then it really made it feel like an abstract set.
Thank you.
All right, kind of fun. I liked it. It's these subjects are some of them are so hard. I got blindness once as my subject. I'm like, what am I supposed to do with that?
Make fun of the fucking blind.
I know,
it's like you have to like.
I didn't do it like. That's a real bad segue. No, but I was competing against a blind person in a roast battle.
Oh, okay. And how did it go?
I won.
What were you competing in?
The first joke, it was a roast. The first joke was like,
okay, they said roast.
It was like, I feel bad because you can't see this ass whooping coming.
Right.
That was my first joke out the gate, and he just died.
Oh my gosh.
That's funny. The whole reason I started, I tried stand up is because I saw a deaf middle-aged woman go up and do her first set ever. And after that, I was like, I can fucking do this. Because she just got up there and we have a really special guest coming on, and she's deaf, so she can't hear. So if you want to show your applause, just put your hands up like this and wave them. This is clapping in sign language. And then she got up there and she's like, hey, everybody, how's everyone doing tonight? All right, we're going to be doing this. And then everybody just had their hands up like this, like they were being held up in a fucking, like held up at the bank and robbed and shit. And we're all just like,
amazing. I would have loved to have been in that audience.
yeah, no, you couldn't understand what she was saying, but like the fucking balls.
That's all you
This
have
girl
to do.
like going up there. I was like, fuck it. If you can go up there and you can't particularly speak, I can get the fuck up there and eat a bag of shit. So
Absolutely.
I did it, never turned back.
Good for her. Good for her inspiring you.
Good for her, yeah. It was on her
Uh,
bucket. They said it was on her bucket list, so it's like, yeah, fucking good on you, sister. Chop off whatever you can off the old bucket list.
well, and honestly, if you practice something long enough, she's probably, gonna kick all of our asses in the funny department. Who knows?
I've seen it on what is America's Got Talent? It was a guy that got up here. He couldn't talk at all. He used a computer to talk, but all his jokes were said through the computer, and they were killing.
Yep.
There's
Drew
another guy who got
Lynch.
hit in the
Drew Lynch.
Drew Lynch with the softball in the neck.
Mhm.
Yeah.
His he was on America's Got Talent, and then I watched some of his other videos, and his audience work is the best I've ever seen. So I mean, yeah, it doesn't matter. Just if you want to make people laugh, then for sure get up there. All right, James, are you ready for your set?
I am. I just pumped in some nicotine gum though, so I'm gonna be a rude boy.
Chip was like, "You got me right in the midst of that bone, right there on that chicken."
Yeah.
All right.
I actually didn't even know that there was the other set part up until today, like fucking 5 hours ago. So this is just some stuff I wrote during the pandemic when shit was just locked down. So I was like, let's see if it's actually two of these I've done before, two of them I haven't. So I'm actually from out east, and I moved to the West Coast when I was about 12. And one thing I noticed about the West Coast is people here are a lot more loose when it comes to sexuality, like asexual, demisexual, aromantic. And I heard about something called pansexual. So I thought, fuck it, you know what? I'm a progressive guy. Let me try it out. Now, where I fucked up is I didn't read the instructions on how to be pansexual. Because I was sitting at home trying to be all pansexual, but I could only fit the handle in. And that's when I decided hetero is probably just fine for me, heterosexual. Yeah, now every time I cook stir fry, I have to hold a bottle of Xanax in my free hand. This is a bit for a live audience, but does anyone here have a shitty name? I used to, but then I got sick of it and changed it. I was BJ all the way up until the 8th grade when I switched to the more biblical favorite of James. And the name BJ is a total paradox too, because nobody named BJ has gotten their dick sucked since BJ Honeycutt from MASH. I got lucky at school though, because there were lots of other people with horrible names. Like we had this English teacher, Danielle Carriage, who was an absolutely wonderful teacher. She was great with kids, but she couldn't have any of her own. So we just had to call her Miss Danielle. I'll let that one sink in. Nice. And I have a realtor friend, and on his Instagram bio it says, "Move in today and turn a house into a home," which isn't necessarily true. Just because you live there doesn't make it a home. I had a friend who was addicted to crack, and not once did he ever mention buying it in a crack home. It was always a crack house. It could be a gated mansion in Santa Monica. If you sell crack out of it, it's a fucking crack house. Oh, this was a good one. So I got in an argument on Reddit last week over the ethnicity of Jesus. Some people were saying he was white. Others were saying he was black. Now, we all know he was Palestinian, but that's not how arguing over the internet works. So I joined the Black Jesus camp.
Yes.
Let's look at some evidence. You know, homeboy was so bad at swimming, he had to learn to walk on water. It's pretty black. He didn't get a particularly fair trial. And he died with his hands like this.
That's true.
And that's my 4 jokes from the past that I pulled.
Okay. Thank you, James. Thank you so much for sharing. Appreciate it. All right. Very good. The pansexual thing that was surprising. So it was really funny. I think you could maybe instead of hetero, or also you could do like a smaller pan. So you're like a small frying pan sexual, or like some sort of smaller, like an omelet pansexual, something like that. I think that could
to
work.
get to the G spot, that prostate section.
Or like a pot sexual.
Yeah.
Pot sexual.
Mm.
To hold all the cum when you have that massive orgasm. I get it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry for ruining your dinner, Chip. Talking about buckets of cum, you're eating fucking chicken wings.
Yep. Okay. I like it's not a home, it's a house. I feel like, it's not you could do other things like mansion or, igloo, some sort of mash it kind of situation. I don't know if you remember playing MASH, like as a child or whatever.
Did MASH have a board game?
No,
it's just like you just would write it down.
You never played the game, the mansion, apartment, shelter, house, and then you like do the numbers and whatever you land on, and then they also go down the line of like, who's your husband gonna be? This is a women's game, really just a girl's game. I don't know.
That's where I went though, because
that's a deep cut, Alisha. I can appreciate that shit. That's as bad as when they had the little card, the paper where you fold it up and you do the
oh yeah, shit. Yeah, I know what you're fucking talking about.
That's what that's the same era,
How old is everyone here? Just out of curiosity.
It looks like a bunch of millennials.
I mean, I'm 30.
He's a millennial.
Yeah.
I'm a millennial. James is probably somewhere in between.
I'm 29.
She's a millennial. Alicia's a millennial.
Hell yeah.
We all millennials, bro.
Yeah, that's a good chunk of age. We'll just keep it with
it's within the decade, baby. Like 85 to like 95 is millennials. So I don't think unless James gonna come through in the clutch and he like young, like 19 or some bullshit like that.
No.
Yeah, I think we all in the same range.
I'm not that old yet. Not 19.
Damn you.
Not 19.
People that are legally able to drink now don't even remember 9/11. That's
yeah. I used to go into places and look at what the drinking age is now, just to see like how old the fuck I
am. Or if somebody else can figure it out, they're like, oh.
Yeah. I think it's in the 2000s range now, like almost. Is it in the 2000s? It's about to be 2000 if it's not 1999.
2003.
Jesus Christ.
You can drink. No, 2000. Well, it depends where you are, right? I'm in Canada, so like it's 18.
Canada gets away with everything. No, 21.
Yeah, 21 in United
So technically, yeah, 2000. So if they're born in 2000, they're probably 21 now, or going on 22.
Yeah.
All right. I love this conversation, but is there any other response to James' material? I like he didn't get a fair trial. Stuff about Jesus. I thought there was some interesting things there. Any other response?
I feel like the miscarriage one really got me. That miscarriage joke.
Thank you.
Yeah. I
did that one in at an open mic, and no one got it except one guy, but the guy burst out laughing, and I was like, "Thank you, Alex," because nobody else got it, and I was like, "Miscarriage, can't have kids."
Yeah, that was good. I actually didn't put the miss in front of it.
Yeah.
I knew where you were going with it, but I didn't add it up. I hate math, that's why. But I thought it was good. I think like with the Jesus thing, there's a couple of jokes there, and just to find a like Tim was saying, I think earlier, find a clever way to do it, because there's so many times that you hear like Jesus was black and this is why. The water into wine. He always kept like 10 homies with him or whatever, all that stuff. So like, how can you put a flip on the fact that Jesus was black? Maybe talk about some stuff that little known facts about Jesus. He also did that, but it's a very hard line because then you start to get into like racial stereotypes and shit. But Yeah, I think a black person could take that joke and really make it. No facts about Jesus, about Black Jesus. But yeah, it's a teetering line when you bring up race. But that's a good safe space to stay.
I feel like you could even reverse it and be like, these are the reason Jesus is white. You could do something like that with it, but
yeah, you can do the white side, but it's just not true. Jesus is black.
But I like that I throw in there like he was at like the Palestinian thing, because we do know he's Palestinian, and then there's two sides of people saying no, he was black, no, he was white. But I like the bit about saying that you don't have to be right while arguing over the internet. Like nobody has to be right for the argument to happen or for someone to win, which is unfortunately true.
Hey, you just gotta be the loudest person in the room.
Which is bad.
Use the most caps lock.
Exactly. Caps lock, baby, all day. Emoji. GIF. That's how you win.
Exclamation
like
point.
Alex Jones energy.
Exclamation point.
All right. Very cool. Are we anything else for James? All right. Okay, Tim, how are you feeling? You ready to kick butt?
Yeah, I think so.
All right.
Yeah, James mentioned Jesus earlier. I feel like, did anybody at some point like yell at Jesus, like get a haircut, hippie? Like, I feel like Jesus just had long hair. Did anybody yell that at him, like in his crowd?
Not directly at Jesus.
Yeah, well, probably not directly. Yeah. I feel like he could have formed a rock and roll band, like Jesus and the 12 Apostles. Could have been like, I feel like they could even pull some strings and get like angels with like harps to come down to like back him up. And I feel like Peter would like play a mean horn. I just feel like, Jesus and the 12 Apostles would be falling in like a long line of biblical bands. Like we have like Joshua and the Israelites that like literally brought down the walls of Jericho. And then you have like Moses and the 7 plagues, and Moses just played such a bitching like bass solo, he'd like split the Red Sea. And instead of trashing a hotel room, Moses and the 7 plagues trashed the entire nation of Egypt. So and then there's also the original emo artist, Job. And I don't know. Speaking of like, Alicia mentioned like shitty presents you got from your aunt as a kid. Like I got a Christian rap CD as a kid from my aunt, which I just see. Like I kind of get Christian rock. That kind of makes sense. Like you can maybe turn rock into something, but rap, that's like the complete opposite of like, instead of like banging hoes for like regular rap, you're like trying to convert hoes for like Christian rap. Or like, instead of making mad money for regular rap, you're like giving mad money to the church for like Christian rap, which is like the biggest pyramid scheme since Moses and the Israelites built the actual pyramid. So, I think that's all I really had. Thank you.
All right.
Oh, wow.
Thanks, Tim. All right. I love those old 50s bands where it's just like, Haley and the Comets, and and the Spinners. So I think there's some pretty funny stuff with your bands, and I think you could even like do some of the music, with like the funky bass. Like if you were like a comedy musician, you'd have like the funky bass, or you'd do like Job as like the Cure, or old school stuff like that. So I think you got some stuff there for sure.
Yeah, and because like the Christian rock band is typically associated with like white virgins from the South. You could be like, yeah, something like the white rapper M Empathy 315 or something like that.
Yeah, that's funny.
M Empathy, yeah, that's.
All right, Visionary, you got any other response?
Yeah, I like that the idea of turning rap, and by the way, if you're thinking about Jesus rap, it's called Will Smith. Either way,
Kanye on that gospel.
That's the
Kanye's
Christian
really
rap.
good.
I mean, that's just what it is. I like the idea of making it rain in church, and converting people through rap. I think it can go a little deeper on that. But I think overall it was pretty good. It was astounding to me because when you said it and you pulled out the little sheet of paper, I'm like, he wrote this shit down, because I thought you were just riffing off of what she had said earlier. But your actual set was in connection, and that's what we call a callback, people. Like, that was really good, because I'm like, oh, he actually wrote this down before anybody talked about Jesus. That was fabulous. So I appreciate that. And I appreciate that Chip is in full lay down mode at this restaurant. She is kicking back. I don't know if she got a friend that owns this place or whatever the case may be, but she is in full resting position. And I can appreciate that. She had a long day. All right.
Chip.
She is resting, baby. She has some hookah.
Are you talking to us, Chip?
Chip has some wings and hookah, and she is out for the night.
No, okay. So basically, so what are we doing? Like 4 minutes of a mic?
Yeah, you can do up to 5 minutes, and we just got done with Tim.
So I wanted to donate my 5 minutes to my friend Radio, who's here with me, so he can do that.
Is he right there?
Come on.
Come on. We donated
Radio. Take my 5 minutes. Come on, okay. ISO Radio, coming to the stage for 5 minutes on the workshop.
This is the first. Right. I love this. Come on.
Oh yeah, I bring them up. I bring them up. I bring them out.
There we go. Okay, let me see.
All right, Chip's bringing up
print.
Chip's bringing up Radio from a hookah bar.
He can't even hear. He can't even hear right now. They gotta put the headphones in. Testing. Testing, can you hear us?
Testing.
Radio, you guys.
That's Radio.
If y'all could just move the trash slightly out of the screen. If you could just move that trash right there.
Wait,
yeah. We appreciate that.
Okay.
Okay, go ahead.
All right, Radio.
You got 5 minutes. You got 5 minutes. Give us your best.
Perfect. All right, so how's everyone doing? Well, hopefully so.
Good.
Maybe not. All right. Good. All right. So, we live in 2021. 2020 is over, luckily. So I'm new to dating. All right. So I feel like dating is the same thing every time. Oh my gosh, what's your name? What's your sign? Do you want kids? All that stupid stuff. So I came up with an ideal. It's called the relationship resume. All right. So a relationship resume is like a regular resume. List your relationship status, list your qualification, your objective, any experience that you have. So from now on, I don't date unless you have a relationship resume. All right. So I went on this date, right, with this woman, and I asked, "Where's your relationship resume?" She said, "I don't have one." Next date. I went out date with this other woman. She said, I asked her for a relationship resume, and she said, "All right." Boom, pulled it out. Boom, looked at it. She said she had 12 years of relationship experience. Too much experience. Threw it out. So yeah, that's how dating's went for me so far. I'm interested in a lot of different things. I actually just recently tried to date a woman who recently got her stimulus check. Shout out to all the stimulus check people out there. And she said, "Hey, can you help me out on my Cash App?" I said, "Listen, I got money now, so fine, I'll do my best." So I said, "All right, pull out your cell phone." So she pulled out her cell phone. Pulls out her cell phone. She said, "Are you really going to help me?" I said, "Yeah, I got you." Pulls out her cell phone. I said, "All right, so what you want to do first is you want to go to your app store, and then you want to go to Cash App. And then once you go to Cash App, you want to press download." And she's like, "Oh, okay, is that all you're going to do?" I said, "Absolutely. You just told me to help you on your Cash App. Anything else, I don't think I could do." All right, this is kind of tougher than I expected, but we're still gonna go on. Doesn't matter. I guess last one I have before we get out of here is last one we get out of here before I'm gonna try this new one. Just rock with it. Let's rock with it. So I like seasoned older women. I don't like the word old. Old is bad. I like seasoned. Everyone likes seasoned food. No one likes old food, right? So I met this older African American woman, and all my encounters with African American women all go the same. They always ask, "Whose son is you?" So I always tell my biological dad, God. And so she's like, no, very funny. How old are you? So when you ask me how old am I, I'm gonna tell you what I think. I'm older than yesterday, but like I'm younger than tomorrow. And so at this point, older women are frustrated. They don't know what to do with me. She said, listen, sweetheart, I just need you to tell me your age. All right. I said, all right, fine. You're asking too many questions. You're really bothering me at this point. So I'm age appropriate. And then I get out their inbox on Instagram. And that's usually how the encounter goes with older women on Instagram. I like your bun, but it didn't give me good feedback. Right? I don't know what's her name is. Valerie.
It's
Visionary.
All right. Well, that's all my time. Oh, I couldn't see. I'm looking really hard. Like what? All right. Cool.
All right.
Are you looking on a laptop or a phone?
I think this is a hybrid between both of them. Actually,
It's a tablet.
The tablet.
No, this is a very big phone.
One of them big ass chat phones.
I don't know if it's something. I don't know what this is.
Damn, that's how you know we're getting old. We don't even know what the fuck we're using.
All right,
He's like,
Radio.
that's a
Thank
big
you
thing.
so much.
Appreciate it.
Thanks, Radio.
I'm assuming you don't want the feedback because he
Yeah, that was nice. Do you want to share feedback on that?
Oh,
Wait,
they give feedback.
Can I get my feedback?
you want to write this down?
You gonna write this shit down?
You guys know what an L7 is? A square.
Oh God, not that. Don't bring that back.
I take notes.
All right. All right. Radio, thanks so much for hopping in. Chip, you're not going to do a set at all. Is that my understanding?
I was sharing.
Okay. All right. All right. Yeah, Visionary, what do we think about Radio's set?
I don't know what it was. I don't know if I heard this or you actually said this, but when you said relationship, I thought you said relationship resume. I didn't hear resume. I heard resume. And I was like, he about to talk about being able to put a relationship on pause. And I love that. You know, just be able to pause the whole last relationship and say like, just, oh, you on some bullshit? Pause. I'll let you know when I'm ready to resume. I would have loved that. You know, like I thought that's what I heard when I heard resume. I thought I heard resume.
That sounds like a pretentious way of going on a break. It's like, no, we're not on a break. We're on a
You know
resume.
what? I'm gonna just pause this real quick, and I'm gonna resume with you when you ready. Okay? I love that. I said
Resume
go
when you grow the
deeper.
fuck up.
That's the one. Go deeper into the relationship resume. I wanted to go a little deeper into that. I wanted to hear more about what disqualifies people because you only said a few things, and I was like, that's not enough. And then the download cash app, it was a very literal joke, but I didn't get it. Like you just helped her download cash app.
Yeah,
she asked him to do.
She wanted that money.
I thought
he was going to insert his information in there because she was a dumbass. She didn't know what she was doing. So you could have got the plug on her and helped her download. And when you do download Cash App, what you have to do every time is press $50. That's 50.00. And you got to put in this name. And that's how you activate it. That's how you get the plug.
Yeah, that's a great punchline. And that's kind of what I was waiting for too.
You can download it. I did it and that's it. You're on your phone.
As for the resume, going back to that, if you like, oh, what are the skills? Like if they don't have these particular skills on their resume, that's another reason to not, swipe right or swipe left or whatever.
The two, you can play with that too, because it is true. Too much experience. It's like, well, you fucked it up 6 times, and then if there's not enough experience, it's like you have no fucking idea what you're doing. Right. So there's like, you can definitely play with that. Like I need like a good medium rare 4 to 5 year relationship.
Yeah, that's the one resume where too much experience is not good.
Right. Okay.
Yeah. Or you could also be like, that's a lot of dick. 12 years of dick. 12 years of dick is a lot of dick.
That's good.
I feel like you could have done more with the season bit. I feel like there's stuff in there like with actual seasoning. Be like, I'm gonna put some like Italian seasonings. I don't know. I feel like there's something more you could do with that. But
I like the season not old.
yeah,
I like
yeah,
that.
I like that.
Okay.
Someone did a joke about seasoned veterans too. It was like one of those grotesque jokes where they were like a cannibal and they were eating like war veterans. I don't remember, but you could also take that route too. Like I like like seasoned like a veteran, like they've seen some shit. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah. There's also like a cast iron skillet is seasoned. Like you don't wash that; it's just seasoned. So I don't know. There you go.
Okay. Warm it up in the oven.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
I think I got all that feedback. I appreciate it. Thank you. Now I know what to build on.
Yeah,
Yes.
no problem. You have a lot of good stuff, so good luck.
Thank you. Thank you. All right, Chip, you got it.
I like he's all working there.
Chip is for the people, okay? She is here to service the people and give them opportunities. I can appreciate that.
Okay.
All right. She's
community queen.
Helping
out.
Okay.
Helping out.
Thank you, Queen. Thank you.
I got you.
Thank you. You know, I tried to be with the community. I done braided my hair and everything.
She did it
tonight. Okay.
There she go. She is for the community, honey. All
right. Visionary, I think you're next.
I am.
Huh? Okay.
Let me set my little time frame on this thing. Okay. Reset. All right. So, how's everybody doing out there? Everybody's
Good.
Stunning. Okay. Great. So, I'm excited because it's Women's History Month. Big ups to all the women. You know, we out here doing it, changing lives, changing the election. Shout out to Stacey Abrams and all the good Black women in this world. We just making changes. So we out here winning. We got Biden in office. I got my stimmies. Okay. So I'm really excited about that. I really was excited about that last one because that first one hit my account like a silent fart. I didn't see it and I didn't feel it, and that shit stinks. I didn't even know that bitch was in my account. I found out 3 months later. I'm like, God damn, when is it coming? And then I called Bank of America. They like, bitch, that shit landed 3 months ago. That was to pay off your Christmas debts. I was like, oh God, that's a shame. Never even saw that one. So this one I'm trying to hold on to, but I'm pretty sure it's already gone. I got it yesterday. So I'm pretty sure that thing is paying for some debts from 2 months ago. Whatever, we moving on. But is there we got some relationship folks in the room. Is there anybody else who didn't sign this contract of marriage in this bitch? Or is it just me? Just me? A whole bunch of single folk? Okay, good. Okay, stay where you're at. I'm going to tell you this. Stay where you're at. But, I mean, because I have to say this. Marriage is toxic in quarantine. Okay? I don't think that people... like my good sister Chip, should be around other people that long, for long periods of time. Because it just, I feel like I shouldn't know or see him this much to be a sustainable relationship. Like, I had met a woman who had been married for 55 years, right? And I told her, oh my God, that's great. I can't believe it. Like, that's a wonderful thing. And then I thought about it and I was like, that marriage wouldn't have lasted today. It wouldn't have made it that far because she, in her marriage, most of it was before social media. So really, how often did she see this dude? I don't think very much. And I'll tell you why. Because when he went to work, he was at work. And when she went to work, she was at work. And when he went off to war, he was in the war. Okay, they didn't see each other very much. They couldn't call each other. They couldn't send you that text in the middle of the day like WYB. What am I doing? I'm at work. Okay, they didn't have these unnecessary interactions because they didn't have each other in each other's lives for very much. You know, they could actually miss each other. That's what I would. I wish I could miss him more. Like, I wish I could miss him more. Like, I want to write him a letter like they did in the war, like, my dearest D. It's so hot out here in the war, and I just miss you oh so much. I love you so much. Ronald, it's been so long I'm here with the children, and I'm just tending to everything. I can't wait to see you when you come back, you know? It was just a good time to be alive because you didn't have to be around anybody for long periods of time, and you didn't have to answer that phone on the wall. You didn't have to do anything, you know? It was just a good time of living when your granddaddy could have a whole ass family 3 blocks up. Just 3 blocks out the way. He got a whole ass family, and nobody was the wiser. The only way we knew that Grandpa had a whole ass family is at the funeral. When we was like, damn, Miss Myrtle baby look like that. Y'all see that? That's the only time you know that this man had a whole ass family. And I think we need to return to the ways of old so we can save these marriages, because, you know, divorce is skyrocketing, rightfully so, during the pandemic, because you thought you knew, but you have no idea. This is the diary of your fucking marriage and pandemic, okay? And I feel like we just need to just take a note from a true married person. I don't think we should live together. Nobody should live together ever, okay? Invest in yourself and get you a little apartment. He can have a house. Y'all live separately. If you got to do this quarantine and chill shit, then just have 2 separate beds, like old school. He get a twin and you get a twin. And when y'all really want to be together, when you push those beds together, that's the loving times. You really love each other during those push together times. And then when you done, you push them bitches back apart. Okay? You sleep separately. Don't nobody got to kick each other. Nobody got to feel each other's hot ass breath. Nobody's taking the cover away. You're not trying to kill somebody and watch them in their sleep. Not my own situation, others, but just watching them, just thinking, I wonder if he's still breathing. Nobody has to feel that way when you're in separate beds. Y'all have your own space. And that's how you keep a marriage together, you know? And it don't help that during quarantine, they didn't put out these toxic ass movies like Malcolm and Marie. Anybody seen that movie? I definitely did not watch that movie.
I loved it.
Oh, hell no. If I want to see somebody argue in black and white for over an hour, I just have to notice that my husband didn't put the food up from last night that I cooked. He left it out. That's going to be my toxic ass situation. This is about real life. I don't need to pay to watch somebody else argue on a goddamn TV that I pay my money for. Fuck them. I can argue on my own. I need to detach from this. That is toxic situations they put on this live TV in black and white. Y'all just paying for it. But anyway, I love my husband. So marriage is a gift, okay? It's what a gift. And just, you know, just consider what I said before you do it. Just consider what I said before you do it. But do it. But consider what I said. That's my time.
Hey, thank you.
And I'm out of drink.
Let me search it.
DJ portion of the show.
Right on time, right? You ended right on time.
like a party at the hookah bar.
I'm telling you, she's living the life, honey. I ain't been out in months. She in the community. I'm about to get out here too. Fuck them.
All right. Well, for your comedy, visionary, I love the letter, that old timey letter. I think you could also do, what would that old timey letter sound like today? Oh, Ronald, you know, and then like that old kind of narrator type of voice. Like, I think you could have some of that.
Yes.
There. And then I think just moving the single beds to kind of tie together the old, you know, what happened to the old days? Like the single beds is like kind of later in your set. I think if you just bring that back to the old days, like it'll be like more cohesive, and then go into like the family and the funeral and you know, separate families and stuff like that. So
okay. she having a full party.
Let's go on to Chip. Chip, what did you think of Visionary Set?
It was amazing. I was laughing from beginning to end, especially when she was talking about like you shouldn't live together, because I'm like going through a situation with living together. I'm just like, yeah, like you do start an argument over them leaving the food out after it's just like I didn't even feel like cooking, and you're wasting
And you left it out.
And you left it out.
Disrespect.
You had one job.
One job. She gets it.
Other than eating, you had one job. Just wrap it up. It's already.
I already did the work.
All you had to do was just, fold leftover right and put it away.
Yeah, guys don't like to wrap it up.
Put it away.
They don't like to wrap it up.
Put it away. And then it was like Malcolm and Marie. Like I just thought it was like black love voyeur, like straight up. Like I was just like, yo, this is all black people do when they end up in relationships. Just argue for like 2 days.
Hell
the black man exploits his beautiful black woman and writes love stories about her, but never tells her in person. I was just like, yeah.
I'm glad she's telling the movie because I wasn't watching that shit.
Listen,
I don't need that.
It's relatable.
Right. I watched the reviews and they said don't do it. I said okay.
Yeah, you already married. It wasn't worth it.
All right, let's go over to Tim and see. Do you have any thoughts on Visionary Set?
I mean, I liked it. I feel like it really seems like you have a consistent style from like the macaroni set you had earlier to this. I feel like they kind of seem very similar, but they're also very, very funny.
Thank you. It's called branding.
Yeah, I like the confidence. It's good confidence, and yeah, you don't stumble over your words or get lost. And if it does seem like you're getting a little lost, you pick it up right away with something funny. So yeah, good for you for being quick-witted. It's serving you well.
Yep, and the end at the very end is like it's always like a good mic drop a little bit where you're like, marriage is kind of terrible, but do it.
Do it now.
This isn't that great of a situation, but totally do it. Like I liked that little ending there. So yeah. Yeah. So Chip, do you have any like tags or anything for Visionary? Or just liked it? No.
It's the unmute for me. Like she unmuted to shake her head in silence. I can appreciate that. That's full abstract.
I'm just manifesting that hopefully me and her gets to party with Diddy because Diddy playing and with the mace in the background.
Come on. We gonna get out here.
Party with Diddy.
I want to party. That's all I want to do is just party with her. Okay. She is out here living her life. You witness this, people.
Mm-hmm. I am. I'm witnessing this hookah bar. It's been a very long time, so I am jealous as well. So
I'm very jealous.
All right. Okay, so I'm just going to go ahead and do my set, and then we'll kind of do our socials, and yeah. Okay, guys, I'm going to do the jokes that I've done from the workshop. And so I just think there's a lot of weird stereotypes out there. And one of them is that blind people want to touch other people's faces to kind of like visually feel how they look. And it's just like, that's not true. And people's faces are gross. Like if I even accidentally touch somebody else's face, I ask myself, how long do I need to wait before I can wipe my hand off on my jeans? Like how long, and how would that even work? Like, is your like zits on your face, does that somehow turn into Braille? Where people will read your pus-filled bumps on your face. Like somehow it turns into words and it says that you look like how Seth Rogen's laugh sounds. It's terrible. Yeah. I've been thinking about going on a diet for about 15 years, and I'm still narrowing it down. The last time I went on a diet was the Slim Fast diet. And for most people, it's 2 shakes and a sensible meal. And for me, I'm like, the more shakes, the merrier. Get over here. And that's when it was original recipe Slim Fast. And so the only 2 ingredients were sidewalk chalk and more chalk. So delicious. So good. The diets that are out right now are like too intense, like the keto diet. Keto, thank you. Okay, that diet is so strict that they are jealous of vegans. Jealous of the vegans. I'm not me. Yeah, another diet that's out there right now is the fasting diet. Which, some people call anorexia, but when you add Jesus to it, it becomes divine, right? And that was his intention the entire time. Jesus looked at his friend Paul and said, "Do I look fat in these robes?" And he was like, "You know what? I got to get back to my pre-baptism figure." So he went to the desert, starved himself until he hallucinated, came back a brand new Lord and Savior, Lord and Savior and diet guru. Okay. He was the Richard Simmons of Bethlehem. And it worked. Oh my God. He looked so good when he died. He looked good. He looked fit. He didn't just look fit. He looked CrossFit, you know what I'm saying? Like, oh man, he was good. Yeah, so I watch a lot of medical shows, and I notice both in fiction and nonfiction medical shows, people will stick foreign objects up their own ass, and it's to the point where they have to go to the emergency room, like they have to go to the hospital. And, if you're visiting one of these friends or family who's in the hospital for having something that shouldn't be in their ass, what do you get them from the gift shop? Okay, do you get them a balloon that says better luck next time? Or do you get them like a vase of flowers, but no flowers? Just the vase, but I would think that, you would want to actually help your friends and maybe give them the option of having non-foreign American-made objects to help them. So I would say throw them a passion party. And a passion party is basically like a Tupperware party, but instead of Tupperware, you sell vibrators and butt plugs and things of that nature. And then you go into a little separate side room, so you can order things in private so other people don't know that you've ordered something called the jackhammer, which is right now $49.99 on special, and you have other options like you can, lube. Perchance, you could get them lube, which is right now 2 for 1 special, $9.99. Help your friend out. I'm all about caring about my friends and family. And there's a friends and family discount, 25% off across the board. Okay, you got butt plugs, $19.99, 25% off. Prices are being slashed. What I'm saying is I have a lot of inventory. I need to get rid of it. So that's what I got for this this scenario. That last one I'm kind of working on. But anyway, guys, thank you so much. Any response is welcome.
I feel like I could hear Seth Rogen's laugh in my head when you mentioned it. Because I feel like that's good enough.
That's the one.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, I like that. People, I forget what the name for that is. When you can hear sound or hear smells and stuff like whatever you do, whatever happens when you do drugs, that thing where you can like see voices and stuff.
I always thought it was just a nostalgia.
Is that it? Synesthesia?
Not anesthesia, nostalgia.
I think it's a synesthesia.
Yes.
Nostalgia is what you get when you think about the times you used to do drugs.
When you think about
synesthesia is
when you used to do drugs, of course.
Yeah, and synesthesia is when you can like hear a color or like taste. Taste of like something you see.
Yeah, that works out well because you can hear his voice from a physical touch sense. So that's I like that bit.
No, that just sounds like mushrooms.
I like how 3 different people had jokes about Jesus, and they're all different jokes.
Yeah, we're really Jesus heavy today.
Yeah,
Lord.
Are we gonna end by saying grace?
I know.
Who's gonna do the closing prayer? Mary,
I was thinking about that joke with the Jesus going off into the desert and coming back, and I just thought like because you were doing like different dieting things, I thought like, what is that, Lord and Savior Light, you know? And and then I thought about Big Luther, Little Luther. You know, they used to say that like Big Luther could sing better than Little Luther. If you know what I'm talking about, it's Luther Vandross. But so I would think like, does the smaller Jesus give better blessings, or does the bigger Jesus give better blessings? Like, which Jesus turned the water into wine? Did that Jesus also pump up the chicken and everything else? Like, what Jesus brought the biscuits? That's what I want to know. Like, which one would give the better blessings, a heavy Jesus or a slim fit Jesus? I would have to say the heavier Jesus might be a little more heavy handed with the blessings, but you never know. Maybe slim fit Jesus is really happy about how he looks so he can give that energy and that confidence to the world. I don't know, but I'd like to know.
Yeah, if it's like you could have like his friend Paul being like, you know what, he was so much cooler when he was bigger or whatever, and now he's skinny. Jesus. He's kind of uptight.
Maybe
little
he
Jesus
lost some
is
weight
a little too cocky.
Yeah, he lost some weight so he could like walk on water easier.
Exactly. He probably didn't start walking on water until after he lost all that weight.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's really funny. Yeah. Yeah. All right. Anything else, Chip? You have any response?
No, I just love the Jesus jokes. I think they're hilarious. I think you should, elaborate on, because like I said, I was questioning, how one of my jokes is about how Jesus is a Capricorn and how dramatic Capricorns can be. And it's just like you can go into how dramatic Jesus was with like everything he did. So I thought it was genius what she was talking about, especially with him going into the desert and having like a whole eating disorder.
Yeah.
And then
starve himself.
Right. Abstract fast.
Right. And I love how people, yes, right, because anorexic is an abstract fasting. Basically, it's like, oh yeah, it's divine now because I've prayed 2 of those days. So yeah, like I thought that was genius. It was pretty funny.
All right. All right. Well, very cool. Any other response? No? Okay. All right, guys. Well, we're near the end here, but if you want to follow me on social media, you can follow me at Alisha Rayne on Instagram or at Alisha Rayne 2 on Twitter. I've got my second episode of my podcast that drops on Monday on Spotify. It's called the A to Z playlist. We just do playlist of all of our favorite songs on specific subjects. So it's kind of fun if you like music. And then Visionary, where can we find you online? What do you got going on?
All right. Well, this is stunning. I had a good time. You can find me everywhere at Comedian Visionary Speaks. That's Visionary spelled the English way, speaks the same English way. On Instagram, Twitter, the Facebooks, and all those, and YouTubes. I have a podcast called 2020 Vision Podcast. I'm also a co-host on the Up All Night Comedy, which you can find at coffee_time comedy, my bad, coffee_time comedy. And also Logic and Laughs is coming out on the weekends. So yeah, I'm on a lot of stuff. And I'm about to be out here like Chip in the community, baby. I'm about to be hopping on these stages with Chip, honey. So I'm about to be out here. Okay. So I'm gonna be less on here, and more out there, dodging COVID.
Okay. All right, Chip. Can we find you somewhere online?
So you can find me on Instagram at ChipV4. That's CHIPV as in Victoria, because of course can't be this pretty without a pretty name. Ford, FORD. And then that's pretty much where I'm at right now. That's all I got for my social media. Of course, my Facebook, Chip Ford. Yeah, that's it. That's all I got for you.
Okay. All right. Cool. Tim, where can we find you?
I'm on Facebook, Tim I. Miller Comedy. I have a podcast. It's the end of the show as we know it. It's on Spotify, where we talk about series finales of TV shows.
Okay, very cool. I like that. And James, what do you got going on? Can we follow you somewhere?
Yeah, you guys can follow me on MySpace at Citizen West. And if you need to reach me, my pager number is 450-522-6611.
Time machine.
All right. Taking it old school.
Wait,
Yes,
so I wanted to plug in radio. His Instagram is ISO _radio RADIO, like Cuba Jew, you know.
Oh, there you go. There you go. All right, very cool. Thank you, everybody. Thank you, Chip. Thank you, Tim, Visionary, James, and thank you to our special guest, Radio. Great job, everyone, tonight. This is Alisha Rayne hosting the workshop. Normally, I host the workshop on Saturdays, so if you want to have me as your host, get in on the Saturday show. But until then, thank you so much, everybody. Have a great night. Bye.
Get home safe, Chip.